Good morning, church. My name is Coit Morrison. I lead our Christian Service Brigade Battalion, a mentoring ministry to boys 5th through 12th grade. I'm also a member of the church rename team. Please allow me to share my heart for a few minutes, centering around two phrases, both beginning with the word new. The first phrase is new thing. God is doing a new thing in our midst, and it's been glorious to behold. It's interesting to see Scripture speaking of God doing a new thing, both in the Old and New Testament. In Isaiah 43, he is speaking to the nation of Israel, what he will do in the midst of their captivity and ultimately through the coming of Messiah. Even in chapter 21 of Revelation, the last book of the Bible, we find God is still speaking about doing a new thing. As we consider details and circumstances surrounding the events of this past year, they have been nothing short of miraculous to observe and thrilling to participate in. God is composing a masterpiece symphony, and we are all privileged to have a place in his orchestra. Like the numerous sides of a rare, multifaceted gemstone, so are the various accounts that have surrounded the evolving story of our two churches merging together as one. God is still working a new thing through us. Ponder with me as I briefly recount just a few snapshots of the journey. Neither church was seeking to merge. However, God seemed to have planted the idea in several people at the same time. I find it fascinating that both churches had a common beginning, and now we find ourselves full circle, united again as one church. God providentially brought Pastor Al and Connie to Trinity to help with the transition of finding a new pastor. Now, they are helping again with the transition we all face. Frankie's arrival and timing has also been a godsend to us. I get excited when I see our leaders in conversation speaking with each other about vision and passion as they dream what could be. I am moved with purpose when I see a multitude of people working shoulder to shoulder, upgrading and improving buildings and land on Bird Street. My faith was increased when I learned of the leaders petitioning to God for years for more space, which has now been answered through the merge. And lastly, I would be remiss if I failed to mention the validation a near unanimous congregational vote brought. I wish I could expound on each of these and many other facets, but suffice to say, God's fingerprint on the whole intricate process has been very evident to me. And because of that, I am fully expectant to see God continue to work his plan in the lives of our church, both corporately and individually. The second phrase I wanted to touch on is a new name. As you probably already are well aware, the elders of our church have commissioned a rename group to begin the process of seeking God in determining a new name that reflects the new thing that God is doing in our midst. This process includes you, the membership, to have a part. What is it we are asking you to do? Well, first, to pray. Pray for wisdom in choosing the right name. Pray for unity in our body as we go through the process of selection. Pray for blessing from God on high as we seek to follow his plan for our church. Second, to consider. Spend some time considering what our church name should be. Send any suggestions you may have to the church office. Use the three criteria suggested by the rename group as a guide, the three being usability. How well does it flow? How memorable is it? Identity. Does it reflect who we are as a body? Locality. Should we consider location when choosing a name? And third, to trust. As God has shown himself faithful and evolved through this whole merger, even in the midst of a worldwide pandemic, let us be just as convinced he will continue to lead us through a name change as well. There are several ways that names were given in the Bible. One particularly intrigues me. The times when God not only did a new thing, but gave a new name for the occasion as well. I think of his encounter with Abram, changing his name to Abraham, or when he confronted Jacob and changed his name to Israel. Could this be what God intends to do through us? On a personal note, as one who merged from Trinity, I have been profoundly touched and encouraged by the sensitivity on the part of our church leaders. I've genuinely felt sincere love and acceptance from the whole congregation. I understand that statistically speaking, most mergers do not work, and the ones that do, they go through a rough time in the process. However, this merger was obviously not man-made, but heaven sent. I feel as if I've always been part of this body. My heart is deeply humble and full of gratitude to our God and to all of you. Let me end by reading a portion of Revelation 21. John begins to write what he saw, stating, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth." And after John expounds what he sees in his vision, an angel then speaks, stating, "Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people. And God himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain, for the former things have passed away." And he who was seated on the throne said, "Behold, I am making all things new." I am very excited, church, and I look forward to seeing what new thing God has in store for us.